It's all underground, not just large blocks of solid with little holes that you climb through. It is all a lattice work, like a sponge.
Now listen here, duct tape. We got a job to do and we are going to do it. So tighten up the tape on your heads and we are going in.
Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this. It's warm. For this area right now, this season, it is warm. We're gonna hit 70 something by late afternoon, which I know doesn't sound bad to anybody. It's been unseasonably cool these past 2 years here, so I like that. Thumbs up. But still, life is life. I went out walkies, and again, I'm having to walk with just a shirt like this, even at 8 o'clock at night, because it's just warm. And I slept well, was in bed before midnight, and up before 5:30 because of discomfort and pain, chronic illness and injury. Thumbs up for that. Yay! But still, I am alive, and if you're watching this, hopefully you are doing at least partially well, so that's a very good thing. And of course, I can speak English, I promise. Front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be very cool. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people on this list that I will hopefully get updated today or soon. My executive dysfunction is terrible, and I'm very, very sorry. Each and every person that is a patron deserves better, but thank you so much. Each one of these people on this outdated list, it is appreciated to no end. I cannot remember how long I should keep my arms up in the air. My wrists were really hurting though, so here's hoping I kept them up for an appropriate amount of time. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I have a PayPal link in the video description as well. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, there's an Amazon wishlist link as well. Thumbs up for that. Stuff like cat food on it, so if you could check that out, that'd be awesome. Of course, don't feel obligated or anything like that, so thumbs up. Front loading of videos over. Yay! One of the big things is the day before, I did not take Strattera. I did pretty good. I could remember stuff that I'd been thinking of the next morning. Yesterday, I took Strattera. I can't remember what I was thinking about yesterday. All I did yesterday was a lot more sleeping than I would have done. Strattera isn't doing the job. In fact, it's harder to do some things when I'm taking Strattera than when I'm not. Or at least if I take it every other day, on the day that I don't take it, I'm doing okay. And on the day that I do, not as well. So I gotta talk to my med manager again next appointment because I don't know if there's any hope with my ADHD and treatment thereof. I mean, medically, I might have to try and continue just to work on it and do the best I can non-medically. But oh boy. So, joy on that. Definitely a thumbs up. Because, yeah, I can't remember with all the stuff I thought about while I was going on walkies up to Walmart, and while I was in Walmart, and on my way back. I was thinking of creative stuff. It's gone. Gone. I mean, other days when I go out walkies non-medicated, I can usually kind of remember at least partially what I was thinking of. Days like yesterday when I took Strattera, nothing. So, I don't know, again, and joy on that. So, I don't really have a ton to talk about today. Part of it, some of it that I do want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about, is I want to speak just really, really quickly about the whole political situation here in the United States. We are hanging on so tenuously, it is not even pretty. We have Republicans that are getting into office, getting elected, and then immediately the first thing they do is they say, because they're getting into office as like election officials. And there was this one group that they said, we're not going to certify this election because these people use this one type of election machine, and we don't believe that that's good. There was no evidence of fraud. There were no evidence of any problems at all. The Dominion voting machine people have successfully been suing people and having them put retractions for saying that their machines are wrong. These Republicans said, we are not going to certify these elections. Democrats were elected. They use these machines. No. So the state Supreme Court said, look, you're going to do it or else. And so grudgingly they did so. But this has not become anything but a Republican political point. And the monster that has been created, the whole MAGA monster that has been created by the GOP, is now out of control. As Beau of the Fifth Column, who does a YouTube channel here talking about, stuff in the United States, was talking about now, fascism is such an organization that it attacks the less extreme portions of itself. The Red Hat MAGA people are now attacking hard right Trump people because they are only rhinos, Republican in name only, because they are not overthrowing the government. They're not as radical as the base, and so the base is attacking them. This monster that they've created is not going to be happy until, in the name of freedom and democracy, they have destroyed democracy and put in place their president for life, auto dictator, and it's joyous. So what's going to happen in the US? It ain't going to be pretty for the next couple of, years or ever. I'm really worried about the future short term because the Republicans are due to be getting a lot of stuff back in the US Senate and the House of Representatives. And they have already said right out, first thing, if we get into power, the first thing we're going to do is no more Social Security, no more Medicare, no more social safety nets. We're going to get rid of those things. So, joy. It doesn't matter that even on the most widely watched GOP conservative network in the US, Fox News, even they're doing polls saying, yeah, they want gun control. Even Fox viewers want gun control. But that is not as radical as the most radical part of the base. And the most radical part of the base is attacking the even radical parts of the GOP. So I don't know what's going to happen, but boy, it is not going to be pretty here in the United States. That is the last I want to speak of today of recent events. I resent recent events because I want to talk about the things that I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about things that I feel that I have to be talking about or are forced to talk about. But oh boy, this country, as people have said, now that Juneteenth, the last bit where slavery was federally made illegal in the United States, you can teach that this is a holiday, but you can't teach why it's a holiday, because that will offend white people. And in GOP-controlled states, that has been made illegal. You cannot teach that stuff. So again, I resent recent events. I just want to talk about things that make me happy. I want to continue recovering from grief from the death of my wife. I want to continue learning about who I am and how I can fit into this world. I mean, it's only been this last year that I discovered that I had ADHD. It's only been this last year that I've discovered that I am an autistic person. That's been major upheavals, and I want to continue finding out who I am. Because now that I know a lot of these other things, that changes my worldview. That changes my view on my past, and it's changed incredibly my views of what the future can be. And of course, I still have my absolute terror that I'm going to be kicked off SSI because I couldn't get my paperwork done correctly because of my issues, and so I mailed it off undone fully, and I've been trying to contact them but the number is either you call up the number and they just say, "Now we're closed," or else you call them up and they say, "Hey, dial this number." And well, no, now that you've dialed this number, press this number here so that you can talk to the next person. You press it and it just goes, "Oh, that mailbox is full. Goodbye." I don't know what to do, so I'm going to try, if I can push through my executive dysfunction, to call up the Social Security office in Olympia, which is like 25 miles away. And since I don't have a vehicle, I can't get there in person. But I'm going to try and call them and say, "Hey, this is going on. Do you have any hints, points, or tips for someone like me?" So here's hoping at least something's going to happen that way. I don't want to die. I mean, we're all going to throw our bodies onto the end-of-life corpse pile. We all end up dead. We are in a physical universe. We are meat, and meat only has a so long lifespan if it's not cut off by accident or disease or worse. So yeah, I mean, I know we're all going to die. I'm going to kick off. I'm going to be just a rotting pile of meat one day. I don't like to think about it, which is why I don't want to get there any sooner than I have to. Speaking of that, in another hopefully non-depressing fashion, if you're still watching, thank you very, very much. One of the things I wanted to talk about as well, because I did remember this, I've mentioned before, I watch some caving channels where they go caving. Whether it's just in old mine tunnels or if they just find pits in the ground and they get their ropes and their equipment and they go down deep into the ground to see what the heck is underneath there. I have come to a more fuller understanding watching this last video where these people had gone into a labyrinth of caves inside of one section of caves that they've been in a lot, but they keep finding more places to go. Watching these people descend around, you'll find these protrusions of rock that are held by these things, and it's like loops and arches and chunks of rock that are held suspended by just bits and pieces through here. And you go, wow, that's one big chunk of rock that's suspended, and they're having to work around that. But then you realize, well, they're working around this. That thing there that they're attached to, this here, that bit of rock that's suspended and held to these parts, this part that it's all held to is also suspended. It's all underground, not just large blocks of solid with little holes that you climb through. It is all a lattice work, like a sponge underneath the ground. It ain't solid. Where do you think sinkholes come from? All that sort of stuff just suddenly falls outward and down. And then everything else from above does so. Falls down and then plugs whatever holes down there. There are some terrifying sinkholes. The ground ain't solid. It is just like a sponge underneath us. I wish I had the guts and I was young enough and had none of the physical problems that I have, so I could go mild caving. I am mildly claustrophobic. If I can't move my arms, I begin to lose it. If I ever get handcuffed, I'm going to be in trouble. So, so I could not go through a lot of the tight little things that these people have to go through. And there are some terrible stories of people that get caught underground, can't get rescued, and then die underground. One of these videos was, they're like the Action Adventure twins, and it's a whole bunch of people that go out caving. At one point, they were going through one of the caves, and one of them actually did get stuck. And had to be pulled out backwards by their feet with the others. Had they been alone? Or had it been a person in front of them, and then they got stuck? They probably both would have been dead. No way to get them out? Everyone trapped underneath? Yay. So thumbs up. Past that, I am trying to be creative. I'm trying to work on things. I've been thinking about stuff. I just can't remember what I was thinking of. I haven't taken my ADHD meds today. Hopefully I'll do better. We shall see. But, I mean, I've got stuff that I've written down from the other day. One of them actually was from this morning, because there's a video talking about positivity in the apocalypse and talking about the game Last of Us. I've tried playing Last of Us. I don't know that I can again, because since I've seen spoilers toward the end, I hate the character Joel. I hate the character Joel. I loathe and despise the character Joel, just because of what happens at the end of the first game. When I heard that Joel was killed by somebody using a golf club in game 2, I was like, hell yeah! They should start off the game with him getting his head beaten in. I hate that character so much, I can't even play the game. I do not sympathize. I understand partially why, the character would do this. But that just means, yes, they are a bad person, and I do not want to play a game where I have to be an objectively bad person like that. Joel is awful. I hate Joel. That ruins the game for me. Thumbs up. Past that, though, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And if I can't remember the rest, but if I wish I could remember. I turned off my Chrome. I don't even know if I turned off my Chrome or if I've been having weird stuff happening lately, and I'm getting upset by that. I don't know if it's me because of just my unmedicated state and my ADHD brain making it unable for me to even think. I'm having to wait here. It's been like 15 seconds I've been waiting for Chrome to bring up the comments page. After clicking on Chrome and then saying open up this, then 15 seconds while it works. So I'm happy all of a sudden. Michael Knowles asks, is petting the kitty innuendo? Normally it would be, but in this case, no. They made a mod so that you can pet kitty cats in Daggerfall. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you in the comments. It is very cool. We have Craig Ball, thumbs up, thank you. And I was actually thinking of restarting up a new arena game, so we shall see. Charles Thurman, thumbs up, thank you. Greatly appreciated. DeAndre Rose, thumbs up and thank you. Stephen Blanchard, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. We have Nicholas Fuentes. And yes, I do recognize your name from before, and it's good to see you again. Adrian, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. We have, who's Mike Cruz, though? I don't know, but son of a gun. We have Joseph, Jonkas. I don't know if it's Jonkas or Yonkas, but Ben B, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. Silvana Vizcara, thank you very, very much. We have JF Formal, greatly appreciated. And that is it. 13 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. A very good thing. Excuse me. So hopefully I'm going to get at least some of the phone calls done today that I need to get done. I have my house phone here to make phone calls with. I can't see it over there, but I've got my little flip phone that I pay for each month. So I got the phone to make the calls. I got the numbers to make the calls. I just got to fight through the executive dysfunction to make the calls. Hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. That would be cool. But if not, survival mode. Very important, especially in today's atmosphere of the United States. Thumbs up. And of course, with the Covfefe bug raging, please just be careful. Take the appropriate and safe, smart precautions for your area. Get vaxxed, get boosted. Just don't go throwing your body onto the corpse pile faster than you have to. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.